Hari Om. Let's start with the prayer. Om Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidwaram Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsachanura Mardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Tvameva Mata Cha Pita Tvameva Tvameva Bandhuscha Sakha Tvameva Tvameva Vidyadravidam Tvameva Tvameva Sarvam Namadeva Deva Tvameva Sarvam Gurudeva Deva. Hari Om. We are now looking at the Panchadashi, 7th chapter of Vidyaranya Swami, Tattva, the Trupti Deepa Prakaranam, the contentment of a realized soul, because he is pulled by himself, so he is self-contented. There is no more longing mind, wanting mind, or desiring mind. Therefore, because he has everything that he needs, because he understood that I am full by myself, that means he has understood that Aham Brahmasmi. That means he is infinite. One doesn't become infinite. A finite cannot become infinite, and infinite need not become infinite. Only problem is the one who thinks of finite, who is already infinite, has to know that I am infinite. The whole self-realization is re-educating oneself or claiming myself that I am already infinite. And now where the problems come into picture, when I identify myself with the Sariram, three Sarirams, the Stula Sarira, the Karana Sarira, the Sukshma Sarira and Stula Sarira. And the Sariras have always a problem because they are part of the Jagat. Jagat means that which continuously changes. So modifications are called Jwaram. That modifications, whether good or bad, will be undergoing by the three Shariras, and that's natural. If they don't undergo the modifications, then there is no Shariram itself. So Shariram is Siryate iti Shariram, that which undergoes modification. That is the definition of Shariram. And therefore, having modifications is not Shariram is not a problem, but where the problem is, I do not have by myself a problem. Sharirams have a problem, but that's natural. But when I take myself, I am the Shariram, then I have a superimposing, called Adhyasa, superimposing the problems of the Sharira onto myself. It's like a gold superimposing the problems of the ring or a bangle and a necklace, that I am limited, I am only of this ID, OD and all that, and start suffering consequence of the limitations. It's called a Jesa Kala Vastu Parichinnatvam. If I identify myself, I am limited space-wise, time-wise and object-wise, the limitations of this Shariram becomes my limitations, and that's where the problem is. And that's what is going to be analyzed more in the next sloka. Sloka 232. Etasmin bhranti kaleyam sarireshu jvarasvatha swayameva jvaramiti manyatehi kutumbivat together. Etasmin bhranti kaleyam sarireshu jvarasvatha swayameva jvaramiti manyatehi kutumbivat. So I am here is this, which is referring to Chidabhasa. So this reflected consciousness, that is I am, not that Chidabhasa is something. I am because I am conscious entity, but conscious entity cannot claim I am a conscious entity because it's infinite. It's only reflected consciousness, that is conditioned consciousness, which is Upahita Chaitanyam, is claiming that I am, that I am. And etasmin bhranti kale, because when I identify myself with that I am this. Why do I identify myself I am this? Because I do not know myself. When I do not know myself, that is the ignorance of my own self, then I project what I am not as I am. That's called Bhranti. Bhranti means taking not real as a real. So what is the non-reality? I am not this. That is simple statement. I am subject and this is an object. and any this, all my biodata is nothing but this. But when I say I am this, I am identifying myself with this, which I am not. And that is due to not knowing myself. That's called Bhranti Kalam. So etasmin Bhranti Kale, in this, during this time of Bhranti, that means a delusion. Bhranti means taking up the polarity as mine. That is identification with polarity as I am. It's called Bhranti. Identification comes when I do not know myself. After knowing myself, I can deliberately identify for transactions, then it is a Jivan Mukta. But without knowing it and I transact it, then problems of it I also superimpose as my problems. And therefore, etasmin Bhranti Kale I am Siddhavasaha Sarireshu Jvaratsvatha. So Sarireshu Jvaratsvatha. So when the diseases of the body, Jvareshu, Sarireshu, the problems of the body, Jvaratsvatha. So by that which is the problems of the diseases of the body, Atha, then Swabhavameva, my nature only. So Jvarami, I am suffering with some modifications. Jvarami iti manyate. So I am having a modification. Cannot have modifications because I am pure existent consciousness. Modifications are to this. When I am this, then I claim I am having a modification, since this is undergoing modification. This cannot but undergo modification because it's the nature of this. So nature of this is to undergo modifications, whereas I am is superimposing on top of that, and that becomes a suffering. Iti manyate. This is how I superimpose the problems of the body, my intellect, on my problems and suffer the consequence of that. And here, Kutumbivathi, it is just like having a householder superimposing. Kutumbi means householder. The Kutumbi, but it is like him. Indeed, it is like a family person, a householder. What about householder? Householder superimpose the problems of the people in the house as his problems. He may not have, or for the time being, let's say he doesn't have any problem, but he takes the problems of the wife and the children as his problems, and that he suffers. In fact, this is the same true when the mother suffers when the baby is having a problem. Baby may have a physical problem and crying, but mother doesn't have that physical problem. The pain mother doesn't feel, the physical pain doesn't feel, but the agony of the mental association of identifying with the body of the child as my child. So suffering of the child will be extensively felt by the mother. Mother suffers more than the child because now this is a problem in the mind level. So here Kutumbi is across the board. Whenever I identify I am this, that becomes a Kutumbam. So my samsara, my householder, is one who holds on to the house. That means holds on. This is mine. If the problems of the house, I am having a problems and suffering increases. So if something is gone, I am suffering. So changes in the continuously outside world will occur continuously, either at the house level or at the people in the house. Always will have some problem or other, and I have a problem only because of intense identification with that. This is Swami Chinmayananda used to give a simple example. When I have a scrumptious lunch, and with all the 5-course lunch, and now I am relaxing because the meals are heavy, I want to lie down, I sit in a lazy boy chair and turn the TV on, and for an entertainment I am watching a movie, and it became a serious movie where the hero and heroine are suffering a lot because of the villains and all that, and they are running, trying to save themselves in the hot sun in the forest, starving for many days. And then I am sitting in the lazy boy after full and in the comfortable AC room. Now identification with the characters in the movie, I say I am suffering and he's crying much more because of the suffering of the hero. Even just temporarily identification caused so much of a problem. You can see intense identification becomes a problem. So all problems are due to identification. Why do I identify? I identify because I don't know my true nature. That is called Bhranti. Bhranti means I don't see the problem as truth as it is, and therefore the superimpose falls on top of the truth, and that's what is the problem called adhyasa. So therefore, just as the householder suffers by identification with the people in the house who are suffering, same way identification of the Chidabhasa, that means conditioned consciousness that I am, is superimposing with this, and therefore I am having this problem, that problem, and so on. That comes from the identification. So jvara is a part of the body, but I have a jvara because jvara means diseases. I have diseases because the body has a diseases. By identification with the body, I say I am having problems. So this is going to be explained further. Tapatsu putradareshu tapatsu putradareshu tapamiti vrudhayatha manyate purushastadvat manyate purushastadvat abhasopyabhimanyate together. Tapatsu putradareshu tapamiti vrudhayatha manyate purushastadvat abhasopyabhimanyate. So putradareshu, putra is the son, dara is wife, eshu etc. on them. Tapatsu is when they become sick. Tapami iti, I am suffering. When they are suffering, I say I am suffering. Iti vrutha, this is unnecessarily. When they are suffering, I say I am suffering. So you are not suffering. So they say, oh, if I had to worry about it. So people worry about the problems here, problem there, problem of the sun, problem of that. So many problems people keep worrying, and that's all suffering. If I don't worry, who is going to worry about it, and so on and so forth. So everybody has a complaints about things are not right, and so on and so forth. If you say, how are you? In States, you say, hi, how are you? You say, hi, how are you? And they go. They won't stop and explain their problem. Not that they don't have a problem. Hey, fine, how are you? That's all they need to know. It's just a greeting. But if you stop in India and say, how are you? They will go on and on and on. They're telling their problems, and you have problem, you want to tell. This is a continuous problem. So this is manyate. Tapami iti vrutha manyate. So this is people vrutha, unnecessarily worrying about the problems of others. So tapami iti manyate. Iti vrutha, it is unnecessary. Yatha purushaha manyate. In the same way, the jiva feels tadvatu, that problems of the body level feels as his problem. Just as the problems of the wife and the children problems as my problems had to be solved. So one has to be concerned, and concern is different from worry. Concern means if they have a problem, objectively I have to analyze these objects have problems, and that has to be solved. That has to be done. If the hospital is required, or if any particular problem can be solved, that could be solved. If one can solve it, one can. If you can't solve it, then tam tejishasva bharata, you have to bear with it. What else you can do? There is nothing you can do other than complaining. So therefore, the one problems you don't superimpose on yourself and suffer more when you can't solve the problems. So it's not a avoidance of the problem, problem need to be solved, but don't superimpose the problems that doesn't belong to you as your problem. So manyate purushastadvat. In the same way, problems of the body, mind, intellect are superimposed on yourself that I'm having a problem, even the body is having a problem. I am, this identification is the problem. So abhasopi, so abhasaha api, chidabhasaha api, in the same way, abhasa means chidabhasaha api. So that abhimanyate, so one feels in the same way, accept the conditions of the body as his problems. That's what it is, which is unnecessary. That's what Upanishad says, that's what Vidyaranya is saying. Elder 234. Vivichya bhrantim ujjvatva. Vivichya bhrantim ujjvatva. Swamapya ganayan sada. Swamapya ganayan. Swamapya ganayan sada. Chintayan sakshinam kasmat. Chintayan sakshinam kasmat. Sariramanu sadvaret. Sariramanu svanjaret. Together. Vivichya bhrantim ujjvatva. Swamapya ganayan sada. Chintayan sakshinam kasmat. Sariramanu svanjaret. So vivichya, so having discriminated that I am not this, but I am pure, I am, this has a problem, but I do not have a problem. That I am this always is together. So who is going to discriminate? Again, the mind has to discriminate. It is through the buddhi only. But buddhi has a problem. So buddhi's problem, using the buddhi, I had to say, I do not have a problem, but buddhi has a problem. That's why it becomes a very subtle discrimination. The mind has to be very prepared in order to do this kind of discrimination. That's why it says Vairagya, Viveka Vairagya. So Viveka involves a discrimination of this one, the two subtle identification. Using the mind, I had to discriminate, I am not the mind. That's where the problem is. So it's not going out of the mind. Mind will be always there as long as I am there. But I am there as a Jiva, identification is there. So Jiva will be there as long as the body, mind, intellect is there. Body, mind, intellect is there as a part of the karma is there. So therefore, this, as long as it is there, but still using the mind, I had to go beyond the mind. So going beyond the mind is not a destruction of the mind. It is de-identification of the mind. So this has to become. De-identification can be done provided I don't identify with this. How can I stop identification? By using a very subtle discrimination, veil together, because these two cannot be physically separated. While they are together, I had to separate cognitively that I am not this, but I am pure consciousness. So Sintayan, so Vivicha, having discriminated by doing this process, Bhrantim Ujjitva, rejecting the delusion that I am this, having rejected, Swamapi to oneself, Aganayan. So Aganayan means considering Sakshinaha to the witness, Sada Chintaye, I am that Sakshi and I am not this. Constant reflection, because of the ragadveshas, the mind tend to identify with itself, because that's the nature of the mind. So using the mind, I have to stop the mind and re-educate the mind, and that requires all the preparations of the mind. So mind agitations have to be stopped. When the mind is flowing like a river and running after one after object, like the flow of thoughts like a river, I cannot stop the mind to inquire. And only way to is you have to reduce the waters, and I can redirect the mind only when the number of waters is reduced or number of thoughts reduced, and redirecting the mind from the normal course to to higher courts, and that's what essentially involves Viveka, Vairagya, Shat Sampadhi and Mumukshutvam. Helps me to redirect the mind, and that's what is required. So, Agananyan, Sakshinam to the witness, Sada Chintayed. Therefore, constantly contemplating on, I am that and not this. What is that? That is Tattvamasi statement from the scriptures. Sariram Anusonjaret Kasmad. So, one has to, the problems of the body, I will not have a problem when I de-identify myself as I am the pure Sakshi. So from the Sakshi point, from the pure consciousness point, Sariram Anusanjaret, the problems of the body do not belong to me, even though there is a problem at the body level. So cognitively I have to understand that I do not have a problem because I am pure consciousness. So de-identifying with the body-mind level, I can only de-identify provided I understand that I am pure consciousness. So we'll do now 235. Ayatha vastu sarvadi, ayatha vastu sarvadi, jnanam hetuhu palayane. Jnanam hetuhu palayane rajjugnyane hi dhidvasto rajjugnyane ahidvidvasto rajjugnyane ahidvidvasto krutamapyanusocati together ayatha vastu sarpadi jnanam hetuhu Phalayane Rajjugnyane hi dhidvasto Krutamapyanu sochati. So how do I destroy this misidentification? He gives back to the rope snake example. Ayadha vastu sarpadijnanam. So the ayadha vastu, so the erroneous knowledge of the object like snake on the rope, vastu sarpadijnanam. So ayadha vastu, so erroneous knowledge, so of the sarpadijnanam. So a wrong knowledge of like this is a snake. How do I get the knowledge that this is a snake? Because I don't know it's a rope. So ignorance is the root cause for my mind projecting on the object that this is a snake. Why doesn't it project an elephant there? Just because I don't know rope, I don't say it is an elephant, because there is sadrishyam. Sadrishyam means there is a similarity between the rope and the snake. So I am getting the attributes that are not enough, but not enough to distinguish between the rope and the snake. So therefore, incomplete attributive knowledge is a problem for the error in the Bhranti. And that jnanam is removed once I have understood the reality. So Rajjujnane, once I have the reality of the rope, ahidhi dvastao. So ahidhi, the notion that it is the snake, dvastao, it gets destroyed. What should I do once I know it is a rope? What happened to the snake? What should I do with the snake? There is no snake because I understood it's a rope. So knowledge reveals the truth, and the knowledge when it reveals the truth, the mithya, the superimposed error in the abstraction automatically goes away. It cannot go away by doing any action. So if this is not a rope but it is a snake, so what should I do in order to know that it is a rope and not a snake? Should I sit down and do meditation? Now I understood. The Shastram has told me that all knowledge is there, that it is a rope and not a snake. But I am seeing a snake. What should I do? Sit and do meditation on snake or meditation on the rope. Says that's not the solution. Go and make sure that it is a rope, not because somebody else says so, but because it is a rope. What should I do? See it clearly. That's what is the only required. So once I have it is a rope, then what happens to the snake? The snake goes away. Ahidhi dvastau. So the snake gets away. Krutam api anusochati. So along with that, all the krutam, all the things that happened because it is a snake. So what have things happened? Because I had the blood pressure increased because I know it's a snake, and I am afraid. I'm sweating and all that, thinking that the snake is right there and going to hurt me. So all those problems get resolved once I say it is not a snake but a rope. Therefore, so regrets of the previous running and all that will be removed also. So should I regret, oh, why should I, running and all that is also now looked about is only the mistaken identity now. So he's going to talk about the Mithya or the Bhranti now. Mithya biyoga doshasya, Mithya biyoga doshasya, prayaschitta prasiddhaye, prayaschitta prasiddhaye, shamapayannivatmanam, shamapayannivatmanam, sakshinam saranam gataha, sakshinam saranam gataha, Mithya biyoga doshasya, prayaschitta prasiddhaye, shamapayannivatmanam, sakshinam saranam gataha. So Mithya biyoga doshasya, so mistaken notion of the others, Mithya abhiyoga doshasya, that is the mistaking insulting of others, Mithya abhiyoga doshasya. So mistakenly insulting others without knowing properly, I have insulted people, and that's a sin. Prayaschitasya prasiddhaye. By prayaschitam, say when I insult somebody, I say I am sorry and so on. When I recognize that I insulted by mistake, once I recognize that it's mistake, then prayaschitam. To overcome the mistake, what should I do? Oh, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Repentance itself is the getting off. From my point, whether those people are excuse me or not is a separate, but prayaschitta prasiddhaye, to overcome the mistake committed, and for that sakshinam atmanam, then atmanam, one's own self, sakshinam, the witnessing self, Kshamapayaneva, as if beginning for the forgiveness, begging for forgiveness, saranagataha, one has to surrender. So here, saranagati is being explained in terms of a means to get out of the problem. Once I recognize that I am mistaking myself with the body, my intellect as I am, what should I do? He says, surrender yourself to the Sakshi. This is what Saranagati. What is that I surrender? My wrong notions about myself. That I am this, and surrender to that. What is that I am surrendering? That so-called I am this is called ego. So I am this, because people, the description, this is nothing but big biodata, and people have pages and pages of I am this, I am this, I am this. So what is that I have to surrender? Surrender I am this at the Sakshi. I am, this is being surrendered, and in the process of I recognize myself, I am Sakshi and not this. That knowledge has to come. So for the beginner, for forgiveness, because I am identifying so intensely, to de-identify myself, first Saranagati, and Saranagati, then with the knowledge, then I slowly withdraw myself from the identification. So here we are talking about essentially what is called Saranagati, where Visishtadvaita emphasizes where Saranagati is the only means of quick resolution of the Sakshi. So what is that I am surrendering? Say Sarvadharman Parijyatya Mamekam Saranam Braja. That is the Charama Sloka according to Visishtadvaita. I surrender completely all, and because of the misidentification, I think I am a individual Jiva. That notion is being surrendered there. 237 now. Avruttapapanutyartham, snana javatryate yatha, snanadhyabhadyate yatha avartayanniva dhyanam sada sakshi parayanaha yatha. Just as a sinner, for example, avrutta papa nutyartham, papa anutyartham. So for the removal of the sins, committed sins, what should I do? Prayaschittam, snanadi, say taking bath in a holy rivers and here and dipping there. So Lord, please excuse me for the mistake. So that's, and avartyate Iva is performing many times of dipping in this holy river and Ganges river. All these sins are being forgiven. So it's not that taking bath is forgiving. The very concept that I am withdrawing myself, recognition itself is the repentance, is the problem, is the removal. After repenting again, if I committed, that means that repent is only for the namesake only. So in the Sandhya Vandanam also every day, say Suryascha Manyascha Manyapatavascha Manyapatebhya Papebhyo Rakshantam. So I am praying, oh Lord, please excuse me for the sins that I have committed since my last prayer. Whether it's a Madhyamik night prayer or Sandhya, the morning night that I have committed, says that all the sins, please excuse me. It's an excuse not to commit again next time. So it is a way of dhyanam, is so that I am purified enough at least temporarily to do something else, for the mind to be available. So avartayanyava dhyanam. So just as dhyanam, avartayanyava sada sakshi parayanaha, one has to dedicate it to sakshi always, and dhyanam with the meditation on the pure consciousness. That means I am that pure consciousness, that Atma Dhyanam has to be done. That means how do I do Atma Dhyana, meditation? By rejecting what I am not. I am re-identifying myself with I am pure by process of negation. I am that, because of which the whole thing, yachachusha na pasyati, ena chachum supasyati, that eyes cannot see, but because of which eyes can see. So it shift my mind, because scripture cannot point out this is Atma. Only by the process of negation, one has to identify who is that Atma itself. We'll do one more sloka, 238. Upastakushtini vesya vilaseshu vilajjate janato gre tatha basaha swaprakhyate vilajjate. Together, upastakushtini vesya vilaseshu vilajjate janato gre tatha basaha swaprakhyatau vilajjate. So let's see, I am reading correctly, 238. Yeah, okay, that's true. So we can read again. Upastakutasti vesya vilaseshu vilasjate janato gritada basaha swaprakhyatau vilajjate. So upastakushtini vesya. So we are talking about another example. Once a prostitute suffering from a disease, whatever the diseases a prostitute has, janataha agre, before it is known to others. So janataha, before it is known to others, because she knows that she has a problem. Vilaseshu vilajjate, feels ashamed for having entertaining her body anymore. Once she recognizes that she has a problem, she won't entertain others anymore. Tata abasaha chidabasa swaprakhyate vilajjate. It's feeling ashamed for the deluded state, feeling ashamed for the diseases superimposed of the body, mind, intellect on itself. He feels vilajjate. So a jnani doesn't go and do tom-tom because he understood that I have unnecessarily mistaken the properties of the body as my problems. So taking that which doesn't belong to me as mine is I feel ashamed. Therefore, he doesn't. No jnani actually terms arms. Because no jnani declares that I am a jnani. So if somebody declares that I am a jnani, so watch out. Because why he doesn't declare I am a jnani? Because what use? Suppose I tell you, someone keeps asking me, says, are you realized? Are you realized? If I tell you I am realized, then what are you going to do with it? Are you going to believe or you are not going to believe? If I say I am realized, you say, oh, I don't think so. Then why ask? Oh, yeah, I agree. I think I know. Then if you already know why I have to ask. So, because you cannot do litmus test whether somebody has realized or not. So asking that question itself is stupid. And answering is even more stupid. So, what should if somebody asks, we say, are you realized? Or Vijay say, that's not your business. It's none of your business. What's my business then? My business is whether I am realized or not, I should know. Because I cannot know anybody. Then what about the teacher? Because it says you have to go approach a teacher who is Brahmanishta. He's not going to tell I am a Brahmanishta. Then how am I going to know he is Brahmanishta? So I should assume that he is Brahmanishta. I know that he is a Shrotriya because he knows the scriptures that he can teach me. So once he knows that scriptures, he is the right teacher because I have faith that what he teaches is because of his experience. I'm not going to do litmus test on his because I cannot have a means to test it, but I assume that my teacher is realized so that I can realize it because I have Shraddha now. So whether teacher realized or not, because I have a Shraddha that he realized, I accept this statement, therefore I can get realized whether the teacher realized or not. That is the approach. So that's why Manushuttvam, Mokshutvam, Mahapurusha Samsrayam, Dvarlabam Trayami Vaitatu, Daivanugrahetkam. Even to get appropriate teacher that is conducive for your growth is due to the grace of, by the Bhagavan's grace or by the grace of the Lord. And why does Lord grace some people and not other people? It only means that I have my own purva karma, punya karma, helps me to find the right teacher. That's why in the Avadhuta Gita says, Ishvaranugrahate va pumsam Advaita Vasana. Even appropriate teacher that's conducive to your need is led because of your own vasanas. So Advaita Vasana, if you have it only, you will be led to appropriate teacher. So in my own case, so although I am born in a Visishtadvaja family, I am led to appropriate teacher because being a scientist, a rational intellect, I could not accept that moksha which is desakala vastu parichinnam, because here itself I have a problem of limitation of the space-wise, time-wise, object-wise. And if the moksha is also of the same type where only glorified problems, where there is a desakala vastu parichinnam, I am different from the rest of the jivas, and Vaikunta which is different from this bhuloka, and so space-wise Vaikunta is limited, and object-wise I am different from others, and the happiness-wise I am localized, space-time wise, and therefore it becomes, even though by proclamation I am going to be infinitely happy, being a finite, it also becomes a problem. That's why I have somehow, because of my questioning mind, I ended up, or by the grace of God, I ended up with appropriate teacher that can quench my questioning, and therefore Avadhuta Gita says Ishvaranugrahate va pumsam Advaita Vasana. This we stop here and we'll continue after we come back. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.